Good afternoon, I'm Jodie Gill and this is your Midday News Fix for Thursday the 1st of August. Transpower's completed its investigation into the fallen transmission tower which severed power to Northland in July. Nearly 100,000 people were cut off in July when a pylon toppled after maintenance crews unbolted 3 of its legs at once. Thomas Rice reports.
The reports found the crew from Omexom did not follow standard practice and 2 less experienced work crew members weren't sufficiently supervised. It shows the supervisor on site was sandblasting the tower's legs as a relatively inexperienced worker removed the bolts. Omexom told Transpower an experienced crew would be doing it, but those removing the bolts had no formal training for the work they were doing.
New research has found lifestyle changes could prevent or delay up to 45% of global dementia cases. The latest Lancet Commission report has named vision loss and high cholesterol as new risk factors, adding to 12 previously named factors. Other risk factors include hearing loss, high blood pressure, social isolation and head injuries. Auckland University brain researcher Dr. Helen Murray says being aware of more factors will be key in the fight to reduce cases in New Zealand.
Knowing that there are things that we can be doing in our life to reduce the risk of dementia means that hopefully we'll be able to live longer, healthier, happier lives without having to deal with such a devastating condition.
Many New Zealanders are being supplied with water that is not meeting safety standards. An Auditor General's report shows councils achieved just 33% of their targets for drinking water safety measures. Water New Zealand says this is another indicator that some council suppliers aren't investing enough to ensure safe water supply. Chief Executive Gillian Blythe says it's putting people at risk of becoming sick. Wellington Zoo is investigating after a kiwi had to be euthanised for swallowing a piece of metal. It's unknown how the wire fragment got into the habitat, with all material going through a metal detector and magnet before being put in. The zoo now has no kiwi in its enclosure. Joel Knight from Wellington Zoo believes it was out of their control.
We have looked at our procedures and are confident. At this stage, we're just looking at our practices that our keeper team are in control of.
Staying in Wellington, today marks the start of the capital's annual culinary festival, Wellington on a Plate. Spokesperson Beth Brash says typically the competition sees Wellingtonians consume nearly 200,000 burgers.
People are really excited for it to kick off today. We've had a lot of hype happening, but I think it's also about going and trying something new.
In sport, Captain Katie Bowen is massively disappointed the football ferns are out of the Olympics and says the team needs to lift standards to compete at the top level. Kiwi triathlete Dylan McCulloch believes Hayden Wild's silver in Paris is just a taster and Wild can snare gold at future Olympics. Crusaders head coach Rob Penny has survived an end-of-season review and will see out his 2-year contract despite only finishing 9th in 2024, the Crusaders' worst performance since 2001. I'm Jodie Gill and that's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.